Being conservative as a play caller is dangerous, and I'm going to tell you why. Youth football is all about explosive plays. The offense that is able to score faster and that's more explosive will obviously win the game. So for us, our philosophy is really just to score as soon as possible. We're trying to score every single play. When we call a play, we're trying to call the play that gives our team the best chance to score based on a couple different factors, which I'll get into a little bit in this video as well. But we're trying to score ASAP, guys. We don't have that keep their offense off the field, go 10 plus plays, kill the quarter and score mindset. That's kind of, it's too passive for us. We're trying to score ASAP. We're trying to be as explosive as we can and find ways to score as soon as we can. Because if you're asking your kids to do a 10 plus play drive to score, it's tough, right? Like how many drives actually go 10, 11, 12 plays to score? Yes, sometimes it happens. Even with our guys, sometimes we'll go 10 plus plays and score. I mean, that's great. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. But as a whole, it doesn't happen as much, right? If you're asking your team to go 10 plus plays, your kids are something's gonna happen. You're gonna have a penalty. You're gonna have a turn. Something's gonna happen to screw over your drive. So it's all about finding ways to be explosive. And I will go over some of the things we look for in regard to play calling that makes us explosive, regardless of our team's age and skill level. But at the end of the day, it's just about being aggressive. Offensively, you have to stretch the field, right? You have to be unpredictable with your play calling. You have to have a series of plays that all complement each other. Have that one play that you're really good at, and then once teams sell out to stop that, boom, you hit them with something else off of that play. So I am going to go over some game film on how you could be aggressive. All right. And at the end of the day, like I said, man, you got to be aggressive. You got to take chances. You got to stretch the field. You have to, run a pass on a run down in distance and vice versa. So I got some game film here. This is first down. It's hard to tell. This is the first play of the game. It's 1st and 10. This team comes out and hits a nice reverse, right? Think about it. If you're playing a team, what's the first play they run? What's their first play of the game? What's their first down play? It's going to be their best play, right? They're going to come. They're going to want to set the tone with their play. This was nice because they ran a trick play on 1st down. The first play of the game, which isn't uncommon. You always got to be aware of a shot play or some kind of trick play or deception play. The first play of the game. Coaches do that, but still, at the end of the day, most of the time, teams are going to run their go-to play. So they come out and then they run a reverse off of their go-to play on 1st down, which is a great play call here. So everyone's thinking it's going to hand to this kid coming here, and then they actually reverse it. So it's a really nice play. So I'll play it through. But again, 1st and 10, defense is thinking something else. They hit you with a nice reverse to the field, and you got a nice play, and it sets the tone for the game. And they get a bunch of yards on this. See, boom, everyone's selling out. Right? You could have just said, all right, let's and this team is inferior to this team. Okay? So they knew like they had to find ways to be explosive, and this was it, right? 1st and 10 against a team that's playing in the championship, so which is my guys. So they come out, they fake that, and they do a reverse. So it's a beautiful play call here. Everyone's sold out to that. And boom, on 1st down, they get a nice play, get a bunch of yards on it. I don't even know how much. So one play, they get 50 yards on it. Now they only got to go 20 yards to score. So it's not going to take them 10 plus plays to score. So just them using the defense's aggression and against them and doing a tendency breaker was a really nice play call. So again, it's being aggressive. It's coming out and being aggressive. Just a nice play there. All right. This is 1st and 10. All right. This is my team from, I think, our 2022 year. This team, very aggressive to our motion. It was 1st and 10. We don't run our reverse buck a lot, but we knew we had it here just based on the how they were flowing the motion. So 1st and 10, right? This is a big jet sweep or jet ISO down for us, and they know that. And they are physically, from a physical standpoint, standpoint, they are superior. They're bigger, they're stronger, they're overall faster. We just out schemed them and out play called them. I mean, you could just tell by looking at them. We had one real big kid. The rest of our team was, okay size. We weren't small, but like these guys were good athletes and they were big. So they were the physically superior team. All right, so 1st and 10. Again, very big jet sweep or jet ISO down for us. So we come out and we're aggressive. Come out with a reverse buck. We fake jet. Boom. We hand our reverse buck. And listen, we knew we had this play because how they were defending our motion. They were just rolling to the motion. But again, if we just stick to what we do, we would have ran jet sweep or jet ISO, all right, into pretty much a wall of defenders. So we decided to be more aggressive. And you don't see a lot of reverses at the 10-yard line and down, right? I think we're about the 11 or 12 actually, but you don't see a lot of reverses down here, right? So it's something that's not typical, and it's typical in regards to running a reverse inside the 10, which doesn't really happen much, and running a reverse on 1st and 10 when you're ahead of the chains and you're moving the ball nice. So this allowed us to score maybe 1 or 2 plays faster. So instead of scoring in 9 plays, we're scoring in 7, which is much better. Because the more plays you go, the more likely you're going to have a mistake. So be unpredictable with your play calling, guys. Have a system of plays. Before I get any more game film, have a system of plays. Have a play that works off of your best plays. Like all our plays complement each other. We're going to come out, we're going to jet sweep, and we're going to run our jet ISO play. Teams know that. So you have to have plays off of that. You have to have play action passes off of your best runs. So have a system of plays. So once we see they're overflowing to our motion side, that's when we go away from the motion on reverse. We fake motion to the right, we run the ball on a reverse left, right? So, it's just having a system of plays and having coaches watch what they're doing and then having an answer for it. And then another thing we look for is where we have leverage advantage. If we have good kick out angles, right? If we have numbers advantage, meaning we have a 3-man line surface, they only have 2 D linemen. Or we have 4 blockers to the left, they only have 3 defenders, you should probably run that way, right? That makes you more explosive because you're running into numbers, you're +2. So that'll make you more explosive. Just having a system of plays and running where you have numbers, leverage, or player advantage will make you more explosive and will allow you to score in less than 10 plays. And then the third thing we look for is our player advantage. Where are we better? Is our tight end and tackle better than the 2 defenders over them? Boom, we're going to run there. Are they putting a minimum play cadet nose? Boom, we're going to run wedge or trap. We're going to run where we have player advantage if we do at all. All right, and then another thing back to this play, right? A couple things to think about. Like I said, it's at the 10-yard line down. No one really runs reverses there. All right, we've been moving the ball, doing what we're doing. So there was really no need to be aggressive. I think it did because they were overshifting and they were pretty much had a +1 to our motion side, so it doesn't make sense for us to run there. But we did move the field good. We were probably on 6, 7 plays here. So, just being more aggressive, and it's always harder to run inside and to do what you do inside the 10, right? Everyone moves up, everyone's more run heavy. So that's why being a little bit more aggressive with the play call and even risking losing some yards. Say they blew up the reverse. Now we're behind the chains. That's the flip side of it. But again, our execution's good and it paid to be more aggressive. So we scored in maybe 2 or 3 less plays. All right, and what we did here is we took our best kid, put him at receiver. This corner obviously wasn't great. He wasn't bad, but he wasn't great. This kid definitely has a player advantage over him. They didn't really double cover our kid. They didn't do anything, so we threw it. And again, this was 1st and 10, which is a big buck sweep down for us with this year's team. All right, we're in our kind of in our flex bone a little bit here. We got 2 wings, 2 split ends in the back. We do run a lot of buck this way on 1st and 10. Here, 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 pull kick, and we wrap the backside guard. So we do run a lot of buck here. So that was a tendency breaker. And we put our best kid and we want to stretch the field, right? I talked about taking your best receiver, throwing it up. 1st and 10, we're at midfield. All right, maybe we're 2 or 3 plays into this drive. We're taking a shot. We want our best player. We know we got player advantage here. And we're going to take a shot, and it actually works out for us. So instead of having to go 50 yards to score in another 3, 4, 5, 6 plays, we took a shot, and boom, we hit a big play. So, you know, it made sense for us to take a shot here because it was 1st down. It was 1st and 10. Okay, it's hard. I don't know where the yard marker is. I guess it's just out of the film or it's down on the ground. I'm not sure. But we were moving the ball all right? So we wanted to be more aggressive and take a shot. We knew it was 1st down, so if it was an incompletion, fine. We still had, you know, we're going to go for it if we're here. We're not going to punt the ball. So, you know, we knew we had 3 plays to get 10 more yards, which we could probably do. So, you know, guys, be aggressive, man. Take some shots, stretch the field. And when you stretch the field, it actually opens up other stuff because they don't know if you're going to play action. So it definitely makes sense to stretch the field. All right, here's a good look here too. 1st and 10, big jet sweep down for us. 1st and 10, we're getting aggressive here. We hit a pretty big play. It was like a 15-yard buck. And then we do love running jet sweep to the field, and they know that. They definitely scouted us, and I mean, you can see how wide this guy is. Everyone's bumped out. We got a guy in between our tackle and our wing, so they're and almost a kid stacked over safety. So they're playing the field here. So you know, yeah, we could have ran buck the other way. I would have liked that look too. Running basically 4 over 3 would have been a good call here. But again, 1st and 10, man, we want to be aggressive, right? And we're winning. We were moving the ball with what we were doing, hence is why they shifted to it. So we knew, like, all right, even though what's working is working, we want to be aggressive to try to hit a big play. We don't want to try to get 5 yards here, 2 yards here, then maybe a 10-yard or 10, 15-yard gain here, which are nice. But, like, we're trying to score. Okay, we're moving the ball, doing what we do. We know they're going to sell out to it. 1st and 10, boom, let's be aggressive. So, you know, it allowed us, you know, we still got to go 40 yards to score, which isn't easy, right? Especially if they're really good athletes and could close on plays, and we're just doing what we do wouldn't allow us to be super explosive. So that's why play action passes on 1st and 10 after you hit a big run are huge. Like it works so well. So we go our post wheel off jet sweep action. Boom, we score 40 yards in one play. That's a touchdown. Boom. So, you know, long story short, guys, be aggressive. Stretch the field a little bit. Have a system of plays that all complement each other. And, you know, run where you have numbers, leverage, or player advantage. And just be aggressive, guys. It doesn't pay to be conservative. You got to find ways to be more explosive on offense. And before I let you guys get out of here, I'm going to show you, we have an explosive offense clinic. It's really good. I highly recommend you guys check it out. It's really 4 sections. It's basically just a clinic. It's 4 sections. The first one is running a system of plays, how to run a system of plays, what you should do. It gives you everything you need to do to install a system of plays, and there's a ton of game film on it and coaching tips. It's so much stuff. Section 2, using motions to create conflict, alignment conflict for the defense. You know, like biggest things, the ways to be more explosive on offense is running a system of plays, having plays that all complement each other. Second section is how to use formations to create misalignment, to outnumber or out leverage the defense at the point of attack. That's how you generate big plays, when defenses are misaligned. When defenses aren't aligned properly, that's when they get beat on big plays. Utilizing motion to gain leverage and numbers advantage over defense. Again, using motions will create alignment conflict. It'll draw the eyes of the defenders because everyone's going to look at the motion. So you could run your guy in motion, hand to him on jet sweep, let him get the ball full speed while the defense is standing still. Then everyone's eyes on the motion. You fake the jet sweep to him, hand to someone else. All their eyes are on the motion player. Boom, you hit him back the other way. And then there's the pillar play calling, 3-pillar play calling strategy where it gets in more depth into our numbers, leverage, or player advantage. And there's a great game film breakdown of that as well. So definitely check that out. Hope you guys enjoyed the video.